Out in Broomfield, where the foothills rise, there's a little place with open skies.
I'm Dr. Decibel, and this is The Refuge. Today, we're exploring the core value of creativity and a phrase that says a lot about this community. Everyone's an artist. To help tell that story, I'm here with two people who have helped shape the creative life of The Refuge in powerful and lasting ways. Amy Jo Nova is our creative arts coordinator. She organizes our art workshops, beauty night, and creative gatherings, and she's also the artist behind the signage on our front windows. And Katie Peterson has been part of The Refuge since the very first month. She's seen the full arc of creativity here, and she helps hold so many of the reflective and contemplative spaces in our community, from beauty night to Blue Christmas and beyond. This episode is about how creativity becomes a doorway to healing, connection, and belonging. Let's get into it.
A wooden door, a welcome sign. It's more than walls, it's hearts combined.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Introduce yourselves to everyone. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
All right. My name is Amy Jo Nova, as you said. My pronouns are she, her. And I've been part of the Refuge since 2015, I believe. So that's going to be 11 years.
All right. And Katie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Katie Peterson. I am a Broomfield resident of 21 years and a member of the Refuge for 20 of them. I spend my time caring for my family and my community through volunteering and advocacy.
Let's talk about your personal definitions of creativity.
Oh, I have a pretty broad definition of creativity. It's pretty much anything that you give life to through your ideas or skills.
And I would say my definition of creativity is also super, super, super broad, because I don't think anything that we have done as a species in the way of progress could have happened without creativity. Like, someone saw a problem, thought outside the box, light bulb went on, they shared their idea, it spread, and that's what creativity is.
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of really simple things, like making a new recipe, trying out a new outfit, coming up with a problem for a solution to a problem at school or work. But most people don't think of those things as creativity. They just think of those things as all the normal stuff that they do every day.
Right. And creativity it's an innate trait, I think, of the human species. Like, you can't not. You can say you're not creative and go along with the flow, but I don't believe you. That's not true. And people who say that they don't have art in them, I would say that you're wrong. Somebody lied to you. Somewhere along the way, someone told you a bag full of lies, man, because art is a way that humans not only portray ideas, but they heal, they process, they share, and they change the world. And I think that art and creativity are just hand in hand.
I think a lot of people don't see themselves as creative because they think of art as like painting or poetry or all of these really specialty things that require a lot of time and patience and practice. And even if they do put some effort into some of those things, initially it doesn't turn out that great and likely is not going to pay the bills. And so it's hard to set aside that time to cultivate those skills. And so you see something that you've done, you're like, oh, well, that isn't good. I must not be an artist. And then you move on with the other things that like have to get done in your day. And what we do here at the Refuge is provide space and time and breathing room to explore and play and do those things that you wouldn't make time for on your own.
In different creative ways, yeah.
Because everyone truly is an artist.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think are some of the common reasons that people disconnect from that creative side?
That bag of lies, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you had a kindergarten teacher just blow it off, or you brought home a art you did at school and your mom was like, wow, okay, that's great, and didn't really look at it or didn't put it up on the fridge. I don't know. People get hurt in so many different ways, and art gets beaten out of you. capitalism will beat it out of you. Like, if you are so absorbed with spending your life hours chasing the dollar and not health and not wholeness and people.
I think people get daunted and overwhelmed too. You know, we live in an age where we compare everything on TikTok and on social media, and my art isn't good as this art, or I can't compare to that, so why would I even try?
We all have a different perspective. Like, I can't have yours and you can't have mine. I'm the only one behind these eyes. And I think that the more stories we hear, the more people we meet, the more complete of a view we have of ourselves as a human species. I think that art is a beautiful and lovely, like even dark subjects. Like, that is such an important, poignant, transformative thing to do, is to put what's inside of your perspective out for the world to see. And that is transformative. It transforms the person doing it, and it can transform the people looking at it, observing it, and interacting with it.
That reminds me of our friend, Andrea.
Andrea.
Yes. I don't think she would have called herself an artist or a photographer a couple years ago, but she realized that when her ADHD brain is going 1,000,000 miles a minute, it's really helpful for her.
You're talking about Andrea that just had the show here a week ago?
Exactly.
That brought everyone in the room to tears?
Uh-huh.
Okay, continue. That Andrea. Okay.
She's amazing.
Continue.
We're a fan.
It started with her recognizing in herself that going for a walk and being in nature and just taking pictures allowed her brain to quiet and to focus. And so she started taking pictures of events happening at the Refuge and things like that. And it came onto her radar that there was an artist out in LA that was getting some notoriety for taking pictures of marginalized people in the streets. And she's like, well, hey, I know some people that often feel invisible. And she also noticed that we've had some people in our community that have passed on without having any pictures that we could put up at their memorial. And she knew that had to change. So she started asking permission to take pictures of just random people, but specifically unhoused people in our community, these amazing black and white. So she started collecting these pictures, and then this opportunity came up to do an opportunity came up to do a proclamation to City Council to make them more aware of the problem of homelessness here in Broomfield. And she was able to take those pictures and put them into a visual dramatization of these stories, putting names and faces to those numbers. And can you imagine how much more impactful that is?
That is such a gift to all of humanity.
Right.
Like, I am so proud to know her.
And it doesn't stop there. Her next plan is to invite people to let her take pictures of them in their unconventional housing, whether that be in a tent, a car, a motorhome, or even on a park bench. And share those pictures of what people's lives are really like here in Broomfield, to shed light on a subject that a lot of people would like to keep hidden.
Yay, Andrea.
Amy Jo, what led you into this kind of work?
Well, I guess I've just never not been in the art world, starting from when I was a kid.
You've always been very creative.
Yes, I have autism and ADHD. And I think I survived school because I doodled.
But that was recently diagnosed. Like, you didn't even realize when you were a kid.
No, So I had like no accommodations and got the teasing and the ostracization and all that stuff.
And that's one of the things that the Refuge, one of those struggles that the Refuge carried you through, is coming to a realization of who you are in so many ways.
So many ways. Yes. So many ways.
So let's talk about Beauty Night. What it is and why it matters.
You want to go first?
Oh, gosh. So we have done a variety of experiences throughout the years. Early on, it was pretty random trying to figure out what would work. We did something called Voca Femina early on, a couple years.
I think I went to one of those, yes.
Yeah, giving voice to women's thoughts and ideas. And later, our dear friend Jennifer Herrick, who is responsible for much of the artwork and creative influence in our space, who sadly passed away a few years ago, or else you would have the pleasure of meeting with her today.
Yes.
Our dear friend Jenny Herrick did an event one year called Word in Art and invited not just the women, but everyone to participate and basically show what life looked like for them, what life meant to them, what their faith meant to them, all kind of intermixed. And I remember that year I did an art installation of 3 chandeliers, one representing the really ugly factory chandelier that was in my house when I first moved into it, and one that I had decorated to hang in my daughter's nursery, and then one that was like really elegant with brass and crystals hanging from it to show kind of the evolution of life. And I can't even remember what I put on it, but it was something that I wouldn't have done if not given that platform to, hey, create something and share it. Mm-hmm. I've always enjoyed being creative in the past, but there's never any need for it. And even now, that's just in my head. No one ever needs to do art. Honestly, the things I create, the things I finish are only the things that have a deadline because there's a project or a performance or it's a gift for someone's birthday. Like I have to have a reason to finish in order to put the time into it. Otherwise, there's dishes to do, there's errands to run, there's all these things that get in the way of taking the time to put that creative energy in. So that event went so well that we decided to make it annual, and we called it Beauty Night. And the concept around that is that beauty heals. Now, that didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time. And because, beauty is fleeting, right? So how does that heal? But what we witnessed through those nights was average people being really brave, sharing their soul, and then being praised for something they created.
It's so vulnerable and it's so building. Like it's such an opportunity to hold each other's truths.
Right. And you get valued in ways that you don't get elsewhere. You don't get that in the workplace. You don't get that out on the streets.
Not getting it on social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about Blue Christmas, contemplative gatherings, and why creative reflection matters in grief, loss, and change.
Oh, Blue Christmas is so beautiful. I can't remember when or why we started it, but it has always been a place of contemplation and reflection. It's been very quiet and welcoming and warm and
not Christmassy.
Well, it's very blue.
Yes, there you go. I guess
blue and silver and not red and green. It was originally started with the idea that Christmas is just a hard time for people sometimes due to losses of a variety of things, be it a family member or loss of a job or estrangement. And we wanted a place where people could process some of those feelings and and allow a space where it's okay to cry and it's okay to be angry. And we set up all of these very unique stations that people can interact with one-on-one.
Tell them about everybody's favorite. The breaking. You gotta tell them about that one.
Well, we have different people sponsor different stations every year, so it evolves and it changes. But the one thing that we do every year is the anger station, where you get to write something that pisses you off on a glass ornament and then smash it on the ground. We do this outside. And it is so incredibly cathartic.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can smash as many as you want. Honestly, that evening can be too much for some people. People that are really fresh in their grieving cannot bear to allow all of those feelings to come up to the surface all at once. Some people just are not up for it. But for those that are, it is an opportunity that you don't get elsewhere. Because unless you're in therapy, you don't have tools for processing your grief. And this is a way to give some time and attention and allow those feelings to be massaged just a little bit and not just shove them
down.
Give
them an outlet, because you can't just walk around smashing things in stores. But it's not culturally appropriate to be the angry woman,
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I feel like bringing people into a space like Blue Christmas is it's another one of our values. It's creativity and it's transformation. It's transformational. Yeah. Art is transformational.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. It's healing.
Let's talk about how it also can create safety when words are hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You don't have to explain your art. You just don't have to. You put something on paper and it doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else, and it's still transformational. You're still bringing the inside to the outside. You're not stuffing it. It's still transformational. And there is safety in art because you don't have to explain it. People can think what they want.
One of the projects that our children's director, Stacy, did with her teens was giving them an opportunity to take a colorful plate, porcelain, and write on the back of it whatever was heavy on their heart in that moment. And then everyone got to smash their plates. Then wow. They took those pieces and put them together in a mosaic that looked like flowers.
Beautiful.
Which is just an amazing metaphor of bringing beauty out of pain.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Go Stacy.
Yeah, I know, right? And we've done similar things with some other groups in our church or in our community.
What are some of the things you guys have learned on a personal level watching someone else go through that process of healing through art?
I can only really speak for myself, probably. And it's when I first came here, I was at the Refuge Cafe during the days, and I would just sit at a table with a few of the OG cafe people, Doug and Cindy, and various other people that come. Mike sometimes would sit down with us, and we'd just chat. And while they'd chat, I would doodle. And I ended up creating these coloring pages. That's what came out of it. I just did one a day. I'd just come here and doodle out a page. And then Kathy started making copies of them and having other people color them too. So it was really, really a transformational thing for me because I got to share the one thing that I feel like I'm good at in life is creativity. That's the one thing I do. I don't do math. Never asked me to do math. Anyway, so they saw my drawings. They valued my gift and they elevated my voice, and I reached other people with my art. And that was profoundly meaningful to me.
What do you hope that people outside of the Refuge understand about creativity as a human need?
That labeling it good or bad is irrelevant and harmful. what it is healing and transformational. There's no such thing as bad art. I think that if people understood the power of art, they wouldn't be saying such things to each other.
I would want people to know that the process of creating and sharing art is so healing and validating. And it really brings up a sense of human dignity on both sides. Like, people will create things here that I had no idea they were capable of. And I just have a whole different level of respect for them. And I just love the attention of people appreciating my work too.
It's a great way to get brave.
Yeah.
To grow your courage and to occupy the space that you should be, and to have your voice heard, and to have your viewpoint, your perspective heard, to just be known. Art is transformational and healing. And I wish everybody understood that.
What do you hope the creative life of the Refuge will grow into beyond?
Well, one thing I would love to see at the cafe is a permanent creative corner with art materials and supplies and instructions. I don't know if you've seen Invent HQ.
I love Invent HQ.
I know. I love walking in there and they have all those fun little projects like, ooh, I could make that. That's awesome. And then it has all the instructions and all the supplies. Mm-hmm. And if we had something like that.
For those of you who don't know what HQ is, though, it is a creative space that Broomfield Library has in our community.
With all kinds of amazing tools.
So many tools.
Sewing machines and 3D printers and all kinds of things that we don't have at home.
I don't envision that we have space for that, but like a corner. I would love for that to be real.
Yeah, that people could just use at will and not have to have an event.
Yeah.
To be able to interact with that.
Come over during the cafe hours. And
what would you like to see?
I think I would just like to see more opportunities rather than just, here and there. I wish there was like a regular thing that we offered. And I think that creative corner is, that's like a pathway for that. So I think that's great.
I would also love to see more guest-led workshops.
Yes.
Because people with different lived experience will come up with totally different ideas than I would.
Yes. We did one last year. I had a collaboration with an artist in Trinidad and Tobago named Kavir Mutu. And he shared with us how to upcycle clothing. And
I missed that one, but it sounded really cool.
It was good. We had him in on Zoom and we were all there in tables around the screen, like learning. It was amazing. And to have Kavir's perspective, different side of the hemisphere. I mean, a different hemisphere entirely. It was amazing to hear what art means to Kavir. It's fantastic. I would love to do more collaborations with more artists.
I love it when really unconventional art comes to light. I remember one year we were having an event at Joshua Station, and community residents there could participate, but then people from the Refuge were also participating. And at the last minute, Kathy decided that her offering would be an art installation of all of the random things that she found on the floor of her Suburban. Wow. And at the time, she was shuttling 5 busy kids around at the time. So she had a poster board that was covered with food wrappers and homework projects and socks and library books.
That's
and
amazing.
All the detritus of life. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was brilliant. Because not only did it take a bunch of discards and turn it into something visually appealing, but it was also a snapshot of what her life was like as a mom in those days. Mm-hmm. It was just amazing.
Yes. A moment in time.
Yeah. Our dear friend, Mike Herzog, who you've heard from already on episode 1, likely does not think of himself as an artist, but he continues to show up, mostly because he likes the other people that show up when we do workshops. And he has this great shirt that says, "I arted," which is perfect. And he is often very busy at the cafe making meals for people out of whatever happened to get donated through community food share or Trader Joe's or whatever he could manage with our meager budget from Costco, and creating healthy sustenance for our community.
You didn't know he was a chef.
No. But I think that takes a lot of creative energy too.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to Amy Jo and Katie, you can hear it clearly. Creativity at the Refuge isn't about being impressive. It's about being honest. It's about making room for expression, connection, and the kind of beauty that helps you breathe again. When people create together, something changes. Shame loosens. Isolation fades. Stories come forward. And community becomes more than an idea. It becomes something you can actually feel. At the Refuge, creativity is not a side project. It's part of the heartbeat. Thank you, Amy Jo and Katie, for the way you keep that heartbeat strong. Thanks for joining us for episode 5 of This is the Refuge. And thank you, Amy Jo Nova and Katie Peterson, for their leadership, their creativity, and the way they help this community stay human and whole. For more about the Refuge and upcoming community gatherings, visit therefugeonline.org. I'm Dr. Decibel. This is The Refuge, a community shaped by presence, courage, creativity, and hope. Show up where you are. We'll meet you here next time.